Hey, welcome to the Cigar Room Show. So I want to give a shout out first and foremost to Stock the Bar Premium Vodka and Cerebella Essentials. Thank you. I appreciate you for your continued support of the Cigar Room Show. And I would like to also thank all of you from the beginning that's been checking in with me and tuning into the show. And for those of you that are maybe just coming across this show, I'd like to reintroduce myself. My name is Dewey. I am your host for the Cigar Room Show. And on this show, I like to give in-depth conversations and perspectives for me, myself, and also my guests. I also like to capture some of the stories and journeys that some of my guests have been on and share some of those moments that potentially could help you on your journey. So I hope you enjoy the show. I hope that you share it with someone else. So I have a book coming out, a collaborative book, where me and four of the gentlemen are sharing our stories from almost being statistics to creating success stories, to where the most trying times in our lives we turned into triumphant moments. And now we're making progressive steps towards being better men and how we healed from hurtful times in our lives. And we're going to share those stories in this book, and I hope that someone can find some encouragement, enlightenment, and inspiration from this book. And I hope it helps people and therapeutic for some of us, and I'm just looking forward to the release of this book. So look for it, Men Heal Too. You can check all my social media platforms. I'll be posting it and showing where it's available, and pre-orders will be on July 24th, and the book should be coming out August 20th of 2022. So I want to talk a little bit about one of my next endeavors. I have a couple things that I'm doing at the current moment, but I'm going to talk about one of them. I am starting a film production company, and it's the Cigar Room Show Film Production. And I am so really looking forward to it. I'm starting off with some short films, and the first short film is going to be called Our First Date. And I've been working really hard on the different short films, and I got a team together, and we're gonna go forward and make the best of this next endeavor. So I'm hoping and looking forward to it being a successful new venture for us, and I appreciate the team that's involved. I can't thank them enough, and I'll definitely look out for it. Hopefully we'll be releasing the first short film in mid-September. So I'm also going to get into another little topic today about there have been moments in growing up and in our lives where people have hid some of the darkest things that happened to them when they were younger, and some of the most hurtful things that happened to them, and they carry those traumas on into their adulthood and on as till they get older. Healing is a process. Healing is a process. There have been so many stories of people who have dealt with so many hurtful things in their lives, and they still hold on to it, and it has such a hold on you. For those of you that are going through this, it's such a hold on you that you're not sure what to do. You're not sure how you can communicate it to maybe somebody who's very close to you. I understand. You know, it's certain things in my life that happened that I didn't talk about until my adulthood. I just couldn't. I wasn't sure how to talk about it, you know. And I wasn't sure how to talk about those traumatic moments that I witnessed. Because a lot of us, it may not have happened to you personally. You may have had to endure watching it happen. And it was painful. It was hurtful. Some things almost happened to me that were very bad, and some things did happen to me that were very bad. And I sympathize with those that have been through experiences that have been really hurtful from your childhood. And I empathize for those of you that had to survive extreme moments of assault. Just want to just outright say it, for those of you that have survived sexual assault. As a child, it almost happened to me. And I had to deal with that it wasn't supposed to happen. And in that place, it was happening to people. And I'm so thankful that I was never got to me. He never got to me, but I did take a lot of beatings because of it. And things being said to me about just letting it happen was extremely hard, because I did not want to let it happen. I just knew it was wrong. Everything that was happening to different people, I knew it was wrong. So I'm so thankful that it didn't happen to me, because it'll probably, I can only imagine, it'll probably been even worse. But the beatings I took because I wanted to fight back, were really hard to deal with. So with that being said, a lot of people out there have dealt with not just the beatings, but them also being assaulted. So for those of you that had to deal with some form of assault growing up, those of you that had to deal with some form of abuse growing up, and also into your adulthood, dealing with abuse, dealing with physical and mental abuse. Now, as much as I was a victim at different points in my life, I also was angry a lot, and I would take out my anger on people that I cared about at different points in my life. And vice versa. Like, they would take out anger moments on me. And I think both parties, me and another person, or me and other people, whenever we took out different problems on each other, I think that we both, whoever it may have been, just did not ever deal with the traumas that we both dealt with. And this is very transparent moment for me, because I'm being honest about that. Not only did I was victimized at different points in my life, I also hurt people at different points in my life, physically and mentally. I have problems with people that I shouldn't have. Some of you can understand, like, you have a problem with your cousin, and y'all have an issue, and in real life, I love my cousin. That issue really it's not a real issue between us. But because of so much malice in our heart, so much trauma that we ain't talking about or dealing with, we constantly just have like a chip on our shoulder, Maybe that ain't the case for a lot of you out there, but for me, from experience, I know people in my own family, people who I've been friends with, haven't dealt with some of their real issues, and they constantly take them out on people. Some people will look at people like, oh man, he crazy, or man, she crazy, And in reality, they got all the sense in the world, but they have moments, they're just super sensitive about, hypersensitive about certain trigger words or moments, and they just fly off the handle. Like they just cannot reel it back in to say their life. Like I've had different experiences with people and I'm like, what is wrong with this person? Like they don't have to treat me like that, talk to me like that, you know? You know, coming at me physically, coming at me saying things that break down my mental and, you know, emotional, you know, just trying to hurt me. And then people who I made bad decisions on how I dealt with them. We just kept hurting each other. I realized that, like, looking back in hindsight, I dealt with a lot of people where I hurt them and they hurt me. And it just kept going round and round. And it's not a good ending. It's not. It's really not. Healing is a process. But you gotta take the advantage of going through that process. You have to have a willingness to want to go through that process. But that takes you being honest about the traumas that you really dealt with. You know, there's a lot of things people just haven't unpacked in their life and they think it's for safety reasons. I know for me, I thought it was. I thought if I just did not talk about it, that, you know, I wouldn't feel worse about it or something. I just did not want to talk about them. Those moments, you know, childhood, feeling neglected, being left, feeling like nobody loves you, feeling like nobody cares about you. Why am I in this foster home? Why am I in this foster home? Why I can't be with my family? Then I'm with my family. Then I'm taken from where my family is and I'm going with another family. I'm going with this other part of my family. And that's when I talk about in the book, I was raised by a variety of villages. I was living in this town for a little bit, this town for a little bit, that place for a little bit. And, you know, it just, the instability of it all, it was bad experience all through and through. Like, and then when I had control of my life and my decisions on what I was doing, I was making bad decisions still. And then using my past as my crutch. You know, I just went through so much. I just been through so much. I mean, if you knew what I survived. Not taking advantage of the fact that, listen, I don't have to be that same person anymore. I went through some things happened to me, my siblings. We don't have to be that same way. We could do something about it now. Just because I didn't grow up with my parents doesn't mean I shouldn't know how to learn how to be a parent. I know it hurts. I know it feels good. You know, even if I gotta read books, if I gotta take advice from people who I look up to as saying they're a decent parent. You know, just whatever I gotta do to avoid being a worser person to myself and others. You know, I think to myself, as bad as I wanted people to apologize for hurting me, that won't satisfy me. You know what? I wish I can apologize to everyone I hurt. Like, and they feel it sincerely. But if for whatever reason you come across this video, if I've ever hurt you in any way, I want you to know I truly apologize. From the bottom of my heart, I truly apologize, and I hope you forgive me. You know, me apologizing to others means more to me than somebody apologizing to me that hurt me. Because I got to my place where I started to heal, where I started to be more, not feel the sensitivity to it anymore, you know? I'm not sure who can relate to this, but you don't feel as sensitive about those same things anymore. You can talk about them, or you can get through them, or help somebody else through them. But what means most to me is me saying, hey, if I've ever hurt you, if I've ever offended you at any point, and there's some ones I probably don't remember, but I'm sorry for it. And I apologize, because I know what it's like for somebody to hurt you. The way somebody hurt me, I know what it feels like when somebody hurt me. And it don't feel good. It never did. Anytime somebody hurt me, anytime somebody made me feel less than who I was, hurt me physically, mentally, I know it hurts. And if I've ever done that to anybody, I truly apologize. And it's not an if, whoever, I apologize. I truly mean it. I truly do. I wish I could take it all back. I really do. I really wish I could have gave you a version of me that you deserved. But we have to move forward in life, and we have to try to heal, because healing is a process. I dealt with myself, beating myself up, I don't know, for those of you out there, you ever been just mad at yourself, like real bad, like just mad at yourself, like you can't forgive yourself, and the thing about it is, certain things I used to be so mad at myself about, it was so, now looking back, insignificant. It felt like I would be mad at myself about I would be mad at myself because I just didn't discipline myself to read more in those moments when I was feeling frustrated, because I knew better. I didn't give myself the meditation and gaining a better perspective. Like, I'd be mad at myself for days behind not doing that. Like, really mad at myself. Like the way you could be mad at somebody else for lying to you or hurting your feelings in any way. I was mad at myself for that. Because I had such a passion for wanting to do better. Like, I did not want to keep screwing up. Like, I did not want to do that. I hated screwing up. I hated making mistakes. And the biggest reason why I think, and this is my perspective on it, is because growing up, every time I did something wrong, it felt like it was on a billboard. It felt like it was the worst thing ever if I did it. I don't know if those of you out there can relate to that. Where when you do something wrong, it's like the worst thing. It's like you gave the worst. Our worst outcome comes from your bad decision, but somebody else is just like, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah, it was messed up, but let's just move on. But for me, it just felt like it imploded things. I think I kept that with me as I grew older. Like, I beat myself up so much. You know what? I had to stop doing that. It's like I had to check myself, come up with checks and balances. Hey, whoa. You ain't there no more. You did something wrong? Okay, what do you got to do to fix it? Or what do you got to do to move to what do you got to do to move in a more better direction? What do you have to do? Because whatever it is, I better get to it. I'm not sure who can relate to that, but it's you can't beat yourself up so much you lose focus. And that's what I was doing at moments. And I knew that I was doing that. That's why I was so frustrated at myself, that I just would not move forward. And those of you out there, one of the hardest things to hear when you're dealing with traumatic anything is somebody telling you, just move forward. You just gotta move on. For most of us out there, that is like, what? Why are you being insensitive to how I feel? That's kind of how it feels, But in reality, you do have to move forward. And to move forward in a way where it's like, all right, you knew what happened there. Let's make forward progress in making sure we don't make that same mistake. We don't make those same bad decisions. We don't keep having inadequate moments. Let's have forward progress and be better. Let's focus better. Let's move better. Let's try to heal more. Let's give more resources to myself. Let me tell the truth to myself. Where I'm at isn't where I'm always going to be. A lot of you out there have dealt with pain, dealt with issues. And by all means, there are a lot of resources out here to give you professional help, as well as people, groups around every city and town, more across the nation. For every kind of traumatic experience, there is somebody who either started something or has a call line that you can call them and talk to them, or they help you and give you resources on the things and ways to help you through that process. I encourage all of you to understand Healing is a process, and there is all type of resources that can try to contribute to your process of healing. I encourage you to please reach out to those people. Please reach out to those resources. Please reach out. Please go get some resources. Read, talk to someone, encourage yourself. Get around some people that are gonna either sympathize or empathize with you and be there for you. There's all type. Google it. Google them. And there's plenty of them around your area, I'm sure. Or if they're not in your area, they're available within a call or an email, and they're available. But I just encourage you, everyone out there, to understand healing is a process. It really is. And I encourage you to start the process. There's somebody that's going to need to hear your story one day. And it's going to help them the way someone helped you, or the way maybe you started to help you. It's been a lot of things that's happened over the years to all of us. And I encourage you, those of you out there, to try to start to heal. Try to start to make some advanced movement to help you and the people around you, because you may be hurting people around you because you're so hypersensitive and frustrated, or it's trigger words and trigger moments all over the place, and you just keep spazzing out and hurting people. And these are people that honestly you love them, but man, you know in your heart of hearts you ain't treating them the best because of something. It's an underlining issue. Some people ain't gonna let go of when you hurt them. They're just not. They're gonna not forgive you. They're gonna make you feel, no matter what you did, rather you feel like it was insignificant or rather you feel like it was major. Some people just are not going to forgive you, but you're gonna have to be willing to say, I want to at least apologize and sincerely apologize. Even if that person even if it's not reciprocated, I just want to just say I apologize and sincerely mean it. Not just if I hurt you. Like, if people let you know you hurt, people will let you know you hurt them. But some of us are walking around with so much hurt that some of the most slightest insignificant things can just trigger us. I know some of you gotta understand what I mean. Like, in hindsight, like, dang, that was not that serious. But I made it seem like it was. For those of you out there that want to be honest with yourself about it, like, there are some moments in your life where you probably just flew right off the handle off of something that really was not that big of a deal. And in real life, you just have not addressed your underlying issues. Healing is a process. Please go start that process. Google some people, some people, professionals, some people that could help, some resources that you could find to help you. There's plenty of books out there, plenty of resources, plenty of people. And by all means, if you have to contact me and I'll Google and find something for you in your respective area, I will. I commit to that. And I appreciate every one of you out there. I might share more of some in-depth parts of my story at some point again. But I just appreciate and love everybody who given me their support, and much love to everybody who's trying to make sure their healing process starts. I hope everyone out there has a blessed and prosperous week from the Cigar Room Show. Thank you, and have a good day.